Okay, so here's a question for you. What if you could have people virtually crying out and begging to buy your product even before you've made it, or even before you've started writing a single word of text? Now, wouldn't that be of outstanding benefit to you? So you only create products that you know are absolutely guaranteed to sell. In fact, I'll show you how to create a product that will virtually sell itself. So if that seems useful to you, then sit back and settle in for the rest of this video, because I'm going to walk you through how to do exactly that. Hey guys, Mick Meany here, and I'm completely thrilled and excited to share this with you today. You won't believe how simple this is, yet most people don't even think about it. I'm going to give you a 7-step process that you can use to know what people want to buy even before you create a single product. This is the holy grail of product creation, because it's the smartest possible way to manage your time and money for the biggest return on investment. Most marketers don't know how to do this, and the ones that do probably won't reveal it, because this strategy has typically only been shared in high-ticket items that come with a $2,000 price tag, and that's just to learn this stuff. But as you know, I'm not like most marketers, so let's get down to it. Here you're going to use a survey to uncover vital information from your subscribers. Now, the questions you ask are not that important apart from the first two ones. I'll explain more about that in a second. But first, I'm sure you already know that one of the most successful ways a business can launch, well, itself, a product, a mobile app, a website, anything, is through the pre-launch sequence. Now, most pre-launches are an often misunderstood element of a marketing campaign. You see, everything you do with your business is one step inside a much larger sequence, and everything you do has to be geared towards increasing revenue, right? It's the only reason a business exists. So it makes perfect sense that your pre-launch has to naturally slide into the rest of the sequence, especially the actual product launch itself. But most people mess this up, and well, I've frequently screwed this up too. I've often forgot to pre-launch the smaller things like new videos, free reports, or even articles, and I know from experience this means that you miss a great opportunity to bring even more people over to your side, and you miss out on the chance to create some buzz around your stuff. You see, the pre-launch does a whole lot more than just warm people up and get them to expect an offer. It gets them involved with your brand. It gets them excited to be part of it. And, well, it makes them feel valued. So, if you can do better than I'm doing lately, and if you can actually remember to apply this to, well, pretty much everything that you do online, then you're going to see much better results in the long term. Now, the business model that you use doesn't matter, your niche doesn't matter, and it really doesn't matter what kind or how large your following is. For the sake of this video, I'm going to assume that you do some level of affiliate marketing. Now, if you're familiar with my stuff, then you'll know that I always recommend entering a new niche as an affiliate, because you can test the waters, you can test how profitable a niche is before you decide to commit. Now, I use this approach myself. I use it to test multiple niches, and then I choose a winner based on what my subscribers respond to. So let's imagine that you do the same. Now, when you've chosen a winner, the one that makes the most profit, the logical thing to do is to scale up inside that niche, right? The next step is to create your own product and sell that instead of other people's products. But with that approach, comes an element of risk. And humans, well, we're programmed to avoid taking risks. So a lot of people just don't bother with this, and you can't blame them. There's nothing worse than spending your time, your money, your resources, whichever resource is more abundant to you, on creating a product that nobody wants. It's beyond disheartening, almost soul destroying. So let's remove that risk and let's make sure that we only invest resources into the stuff that people actually want. You see, I've got a 7-step process that will give you a clear roadmap of how to effectively pre-launch anything to your subscribers. In addition to the 7 steps, I'll also give you a template that you can use, but don't worry, the template is only a few sentences long. You're going to keep things short and direct and to the point. Now, here are the 7 steps you need to think about. So, ask yourself, how can you pre-launch without being salesy? How can you create curiosity and anticipation? How can you make it collaborative? How can you find objections? How can you make it conversational? How can you set yourself apart from the competition? And how can you find the exact offer your subscribers want to buy? Now, to get the answers to all these questions, that's where your survey comes in. Your subscribers only have to tell you a couple of things on the survey, and that's the top 2 questions that your product absolutely needs to answer. It's that simple. Right, let's go through each of these steps in a bit more detail. Now, the first step, how can you let people know that you're about to launch something without making it look like you're trying to sell them something? Well, this is important because most people don't like being sold to. It makes them feel guarded. It puts their barriers up. And well, you can't blame them with all the unethical marketers and the charlatans around at the moment. So if you can, do separate yourself from those guys. An easy way to tell people that something is launching without sounding like you're trying to pitch them something is to ask for their help. Let's imagine that you're in the weight loss niche. Now, you could ask them to take part in the survey, tell them you're working on a new product and you want to make sure that you haven't forgotten anything. So just ask them what they need help with. We keep things open, honest, and direct. In fact, asking them to take part in a survey is exactly the right kind of research, and it will help you to uncover the information that you need for the rest of the 7-step process. And running a survey is a great way to lower defenses because it won't feel like you're trying to sell anything. When you do this, your subscribers know that you plan on selling something, but they won't feel uncomfortable about it. So the second step, how can you create curiosity? Now, curiosity is a very powerful trigger, and it's closely related to anticipation. If you can make your subscribers feel curious at the start of your campaign, then they'll be hooked for the rest of the duration, because once curiosity grabs people, it just doesn't let go. So, how can you tease their curiosity? Well, thankfully, it doesn't take much effort. All we have to do is tell them that something of interest to them is coming their way and that they can't get their hands on it just yet. How you phrase it is important. You should hint that other people are also anticipating the release of your product. Now, this helps you create some buzz. You see, curiosity, anticipation, and buzz are all linked together. If you start dropping hints about your launch early enough, telling your subscribers that your product has been long awaited, that's an effective way to create anticipation. Of course, your opinion of what you consider long awaited to be is, well, it's entirely subjective. So now, how can we make it collaborative. This is something that most people ignore because, well, they just don't realize how powerful it is. You see, people tend to support the things that they help create. When they feel involved, they feel engaged, and that's one of the ways that you can actually turn subscribers into fans. So, how can you add this to your pre-launch sequence? Well, you've already made sure of this in step 1. Remember we mentioned using a survey? Well, how you phrase it is important. How you ask them to get involved should be straight to the point. So tell them up front that you need their help. The reality is that you're asking them for a favour. This actually makes your subscribers feel a sense of duty and almost forces them to reciprocate. So they will probably comply with your request. What's happening here is because you've asked them to help you, you've shifted the attention away from yourself and onto them. You're giving them attention and you've made them feel important in the process. Right, so we're about halfway through the sequence now. Next on the list is how you find objections. Now, you might think you already know what your subscribers' objections are, but until you engage with them directly, you won't know for sure. Now, most products are launched on a hunch and without the proper research. This is why running a survey is so important. People will actually tell you what their objections are right inside the survey. They just tell you what the 2 biggest questions that they have are. You'll be able to uncover their objections by looking through all the answers and finding reoccurring themes. You'll see maybe 3 or 4 common themes, and within those, where you'll find the main objections of your market or your niche. Okay, next, how can you make it conversational? Well, listen, a lot of marketers, and well, I've been guilty of this too. I mean, a lot of us, we occasionally use monologue instead of dialogue. Corporations, the big guys, the big industry leaders, they tend to use monologues. And sometimes marketers, well, we try to mimic those big guys because we figure, well, if it works for those massive companies, then, well, surely it'll work for me too, right? Well, that's counterproductive. For us as individuals to market effectively, we need to drop the corporate speak and speak to our subscribers in the way that we like being spoken to. So instead of corporate speak, we change the type of language we use, and as a result, we end up inviting our subscribers to become part of the conversation. When we drop the corporate speak, that's when we create dialogue. How do I achieve this? Well, this is what I do. I imagine that I'm speaking to my best friend when I'm writing an email or a blog post, or even like, well, right now in this very video, in my mind, I'm imagining that I'm talking to a really close friend. So when you do this and combine it with the survey I mentioned earlier, you're actively inviting your subscribers to become part of the conversation with you. Okay, how can you set yourself apart from the competition? This one is a biggie, and it might take some time to find your unique voice because that's what really sets you apart. You have a unique worldview, a perspective that isn't exactly the same as anybody else's. So by tapping into how you see things and sharing your unique insights, well, you will set yourself apart from the competition. Now, that's big picture thinking. It might take some time to bring out your unique voice. So, what can you do for a quick shortcut today? Well, again, looking at the survey answers, you're going to find a whole heap of information about what people want but can't get. So they'll actually tell you what the void is. They'll tell you what problems they need help with that they can't find the solutions to anywhere else. Now, finally, how can you find the exact offer that your subscribers want to buy? Well, once you gather all the information that you've obtained through this survey, you will have in front of you a valuable roadmap of what people want to buy. Okay, hang on, you might be thinking, well, most people don't want to buy things. And well, you're right, most people don't sit around waiting for a salesperson to show up. But most people do have problems that keep them awake at night. They do have worries, they have fears, they do have hopes, and they have dreams. So when you offer them something that puts their mind at ease, that stops their fears, that gives them hope, that allows them to dream of a life beyond their current situation, well, you bet that they'll want to buy it from you. So now you have everything you need before creating your product, because you know that it's exactly the thing that people want to buy. Okay, good. Now, you know how to pre-launch pretty much anything without sounding salesy. You've learned how to trigger curiosity and make the process a collaborative one. You've learned how to find and overcome objections and potential hurdles that stops people from buying your stuff. You've also learned how to make the sequence conversational and how to stand out from your competition. You've also discovered the exact offer that your subscribers will want to buy. So use this information to build momentum for your product launch, so it all goes off with a nice bang. And there's also a template that you can use somewhere beneath this video. Thank you for watching today, guys. I hope you found this useful. And if you like some more tips and advice, then you'll get them on my mailing list, which is completely free to join. So thank you for watching, and I will see you again real soon.